What's the deal, y'all?
What's good?
What up, though?
It's your girl, the Caribbean Chocolate, Jocelyn Navarro.
Good. It's the one that so I like.
Now somebody hit my music.
I'm contemplating and chasing, handling biz right now. We never waiting and patient, jumping at the crib right now. Put up my label, we make it staying legit right now. Could call the doctor, we operating, they sick and say right.
What up? You already know what it is by the sound of my voice. Wait a minute, that's not my intro. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, but JT is not here. He is down in Florida, back where he resides, definitely for a wedding. But Dallas Cash is here. However, the main man of the hour is here, and he is definitely going to be taking it over, Mr. Poppy himself. Oh yeah, Cheech, we are here. What's
What's going on, my people? It's Cheech in La Casa once again. We here rolling with my main man, Dallas Cash. JT's down south, you know what I mean? Hope everything's first. Everyone, happy June 10th. Respect to all y'all to celebrate today. It's a holiday. It's a national holiday. You know what I mean? What's going on, Dallas? How you feeling?
Pretty good. Like I said, putting in work. They got me working overtime the week of Juneteenth. Fucking crazy, but it is what it is. You know, how you holding up?
Yeah. What's going on, Miss Liana? Hola.
It's my daughter. My daughter's watching.
Oh, that's a number one fan. You know what's going on? You see, look, that's one of your favorites.
Ooh, I love that.
You know, we're gonna be talking about Mexico, so you know what I mean. I thought it was only right, man.
It was only right. Oh, matter of fact, shit. I mean, since we running this show a little bit differently, you know what I'm saying? We gonna say the rumors and news for later. Let's kick it off, man. What you got? What we got with it?
Oh, so what up? So you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. You know what I mean? Should we just go straight to Mexico, or what we doing?
We go. I mean, hey, you know what? Let's go straight.
I mean, real quick, you know, not chronologically, but on Saturday there was a show down in Mexico, you know, called Triple Mania Regia. It was with talent, you know, from TNA, WWE had some representation there, and I'm pretty sure we got some slides, man. There was a match for the tag team titles of AAA. You know, the Nemeth brothers was part of it. I forgot who was the other people, but El Legado del Fantasma. And look at them go, and it's fitting. I like it. You know what I mean? What you thought about that?
I thought it was fitting, very fitting, just because they had put in so much work over that time, and they're a great fit for AAA. And AAA really has great cross promotions with WWE, and they make a lot of the talent that comes over from WWE, even if they're ex-WWE, look like bona fide megastars. And look no further than Legado del Fantasma.
Yo, and the thing is though, because before, you know, I mean, the cameras that they were using, those shit probably from 1930s. You know, now they got the fucking machine, WWE. So this is pretty much the first show with WWE being the you know, being the owner. So it was shot great. You know what I mean? There was a lot of matches, but that match, it was a cage match, fuckery. But yeah, the El Legado del Fantasma, you know, that's bloodline right there. You know what I mean? They got history, so it was only right. I'm glad that they they did that and put the strap on them, because now they come out in WWE with dumb belts. You know, AAA.
And not only that, like even the main event, you know, Alberto Del Rio didn't come away with the win, and a lot of people thought that because of the acquisition with AAA from WWE, that Del Rio was not going to be featured as a champion if he ever won the belt back. And it's just nice to see him obviously wrestle, but at the same time, they got their champion, they got their guy, and you know that wasn't the only show that went down
No.
either.
No, but check this out. No, but talking on that match, believe it or not, people were booing Vikingo.
Yes,
They were booing Vikingo because Mexico. I'm sorry, they're not. I guess with the United States, they're not with that. You know what I mean? They're not with that in that sense of, you know what I mean. It's wrestling, personal, it's separate. He was never charged. You know what I mean? So it was fucked up. You know what I mean? That's the way they see him. But I guess if there's anything within AAA and WWE, he would not be. You know, there's a lot of wrestlers that they have that they were not gonna use. You know what I mean? But
right.
the show, you know, for those who know, you know, you got the BPN on Max. You got to see it, bro. It was a great card, and man, the sky is the limit moving forward. But Mexico was the theme, bro. Mexico was the theme. We had AEW back on it.
Yeah, AEW Grand Slam in Mexico. Like it was it was a time to be had. But I really want to highlight, because the whole card was pretty good. And you know, but I really want to highlight something where history was made again. And look no further than CMLL World Women's Champion Zeuxis versus, well, TBS champion Mercedes Moné for the CMLL Women's Championship. But at the same time, we know that Moné is on a belt collector run, right? So I see it plain as day. I'm like, there's
Pay
no way.
homage.
Pay homage. Gotta pay homage. But before we get to that, Mercedes obviously won again, but we gotta pay homage to the original. The original who in my opinion started all this, Ultimo Dragon. Ultimo Dragon held so many belts because he didn't just do it once, he did it multiple times. It was like a reoccurring theme. This was like what he was known for. Mercedes aiming to be the Ultimo Dragon of women's pro wrestling. And not only that, Matt Cardona did it, Kenny Omega did it, but Mercedes took it to a different level, and that's got to be highlighted. She's going for that number one spot on the PWI. So that's what I got to say about that. Overall, AEW Grand Slam Mexico was a good show, and you know that's where we'll leave it at.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, Mystico, believe it or not, he's one of the, like, when it comes to the new crop of, you know, high flyers, he's top. You know what I mean? AEW, I bet you any money, AEW is doing anything possible to bring that motherfucker over. You know what I mean? But yeah, that everybody sings along, and it's like a love song, because if you look at the video, he was part of the video. In the song, it was like the girl singing to him, you know what I mean? But it became his theme song, and that song came out like 15 years ago.
Right.
You know? So, man, everybody's singing along, and it just, the optical of that shit, it's like, wow, everybody's singing along, whatever, you know? And he gave a great fucking match, bro. MJF, bro, he's doing his damn thing, bro. He fucking went Grand Americano on us last night.
Definitely. MJF, like I said, generational talent. Never really has he never really misses. MJF is somebody who AEW would be a fool to not pay handsomely, because losing MJF, you pretty much lose the total identity of what AEW is about. And I think that he's consistently proving himself. Even now, this is a guy in his prime. He clearly is the face of AEW, and moving forward, you're going to see more world title runs in the future with MJF. That's how I feel about it. So
Yeah, definitely. MJF is here to stay. Here to stay for real. And another person that in the show pretty much opened the show, bro. That shit was crazy. Hangman Page cut a fucking promo in Spanish, and I mean, you can see, he has some problems saying, but bro, that's hard. You know what I mean? To be able to cut a promo in another language and to get the attention of people. Adam Page is on the way up. I remember when he was fucking in ROH starting. Well, BJ Whitman and Paul Silas, not Paul Silas, the coach of the
coach of the Cavs.
Yeah. Damn, I forgot. I think last name Silas, but before he became part of the Bullet Club, I never would have thought that he was gonna be this fucking good. You know what I mean? Magnum TA looking ass. You know what I mean? Like, yo, Hangman Page. I think he's the one to get that belt back.
He definitely will be. If not him, like I said, MJF will probably get it back later on, either not this year or next year. But for right now, the work that AEW is doing is pretty good, and we cross promotions with other wrestling companies such as like CMLL is always a good look. I don't know if AEW is going to try to acquire CMLL in the future. I could see that maybe happening if they were open to it, but
I think they probably work some type of a deal. You know what I mean? That it's not it's just like what you call it, like a working agreement type of deal. I don't think so, because CMLL I think is older than 100 years. That's how long that they've been. Fucking AAA, believe it or not, started in '93. So when it comes to lucha libre, CMLL is, what I mean, it is that real deal. But AEW do have that money. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That one, I don't see that happening. But then again, anything's possible in the world of wrestling.
Yes, it is. What else we got?
You get it. What I got? NXT, right? We had some NXT action this past week.
Yeah, we have some NXT action. Actually, let's since we were like on the subject, let's just dive back a little bit. Let's just knock SmackDown out the way, because we were just talking about this. So SmackDown,
the queen and the queen, the queef, the queef in the ring.
We had the now hold on, ladies and gentlemen, we had the Queen of the Ring tournament, and we had the King in the Ring tournament. I want to show you guys something real quick. Do you guys?
I was trying to see. Oh no, my bad. I was trying to look for the conspiracy theories music.
Oh my dude. There is definitely a conspiracy theory going on, because they're giving away. Because hold on, we got the bracket, and the bracket obviously. So the Roxanne Perez is going to face Jade Cargill, and Alexa Bliss is going to face Asuka. That's just based on the fact that Asuka won, obviously. But I like for the SmackDown part that they gave away the winner in the graphic. If you look at this, Alexa Bliss, the crown is already over her head. She's won.
Hello.
Jade Cargill, the crown is all over her head. She won. For the men's, because they didn't just do this for the women. Cody Rhodes won the Fatal 4-Way, and he's in.
Bingo.
Randy Orton won the Fatal 4-Way, and the crown was over both his head and Cody's head. I think SmackDown, like, you could actually look at who won based off the graphic. You didn't even have to watch the match. And now we got Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton in the semifinals, and Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso, which, ooh, I want to say I'd like to see Sami Zayn and Jey Uso against each other in the finals, or Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes. That would be real nice.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Even let's say Randy and Cody, you know what I mean? That would be a great match. But to me, their story there, like you said, Sammy and Jey Uso. Because remember, Jey Uso didn't even fucking get a title rematch. You know what I mean? So my man, I think he's still in that picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think part of that, in my opinion, is like there's a story with both sides, and probably the most layered one is Sammy and Jay. You can do Cody and Randy anytime down the line. The story's automatically going to be there. What I think though is, Lena said Sammy and Asuka advance. Okay, that could be a possibility. I think Sammy will advance. I don't know if Bliss will beat Asuka. That's just kind of a rematch because they've had history before, and Asuka and I think Alexa have been tag team champions before, if I'm not mistaken. So my thing is that I got Sammy and Jay in the finals, and then probably on the women's side I got Jade and Asuka. But I think Jade is ultimately going to win. I think she may go after Tiffany Stratton, and then Naomi cashes in and steals it from her. That's just my take on it. But with NXT, since we're on the subject, so NXT, we had the Evolution Eliminator, and one of the matches on there was Jada Parker and Thea Hale. Now, there's some controversy that happened in this match, and we need to talk about it. Is that Thea had Jada in the Kimura lock. Jada Parker tapped out, but it was away from the referee's point of view. So Thea starts celebrating, but the official never saw the tap. Jada Parker hits Hypnotic to knock her out and win the match. Do you think that there's going to be like some problems addressed with that on the next episode?
Perhaps, or they, some type of storyline that they a storyline that they could whatchamacallit, drive off of that, you know what I mean, and add her later on at Evolution, or that's a storyline that they could touch back, you know what I mean, and revisit at a later time.
Well, we also had Lash Legend go up against Kalani Jordan, which was a dominant win for Lash Legend. Torch hitting the avalanche back suplex, it was a near fall, and then the torture rack to finish the bout. Now, Lash Legend, and I don't have the bracket up, but I'm assuming Lash Legend and Jada Parker is going to be the next match to happen, unless the GM Ava says, hey, there was some shit going on, adds Thea Hale and makes it a triple threat. Could be that. But that could be next. Man, what's going on with Tony D'Angelo? It just seems like he's always on the other end of somebody just screwing him over, especially with Luca Crucifino slugging the shit out of him. I don't know where Tony D'Angelo goes from here, but he's got to get his licks back. He's definitely got to get his licks back because it just seems like betrayal seems to be the thing that he's become synonymous with. Well, what's your take on that?
I don't know, like it's just kind of like that the movie, the family betrayal and all that stuff. And that not my cup of tea. Tony D'Angelo. I don't know if I can't see him being another character. I think he just already bubble in that, so I can't see him. But that story just like I don't know. It doesn't really catch my attention, to be honest.
I ain't gonna lie. It could be a number of things, but we I feel like there's a higher ceiling for Tony D'Angelo, and hopefully he gets to that point. We had Josh Briggs, Yoshiki Inamura, and Elijah. They beat TNA World Champion Trick Williams, Wesley, and a returning AJ Francis. So you can't get rid of AJ Francis. You cannot get rid of AJ Francis. Um, where this alliance like with TNA goes right now, it's pretty fun. So it was just a nice little showcase match for the six of them. So there was that. We had another match for the Evolution Eliminator, which was like Izzy Dame and Zarya, which surprised me because I was pretty sure Zarya had this, but an unintended assist from Tatum Paxley distracted Zarya enough for Izzy to hit a sit out spine buster. So
And you okay the way they booking Saria? Because the way it came out, like this bitch is about to fuck everybody up, and next thing you know, she's kind of comedian, and then just taking L's after L's. Do you think is that's kind of like giving her the taste, like testing her? You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
why? Don't she paint her fucking face? Don't she? If you got paint in your face, you're supposed to be a badass. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, like the way that they presented her was like she was going to be like the perennial talent that was going to come in and shake everything up. Uh Tony D is about to evolve. He either loses himself to revenge or becomes more powerful than ever by learning from betrayal.
Mm.
Um, yeah, yeah, that is a high possibility. Lena's dropping the bombs again. What I will say is going forward from that, Zarya was presented like a big deal, like NXT Women's Championship bound. And then not even winning the NXT Women's North American Championship. Like, what are we doing with her? Why bring her over and not? Because they brought over different talent and they're presented a lot differently. For example, Mariah May, her whole situation with Fatal and I don't want to speak about that I'm sorry, Blake Monroe promo.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about Blake Monroe. She got a good hand. So have you done a good search on Blake Monroe?
I know that the Blake Monroe joint is about like her. I want to say her honoring her niece, I believe, and with the
Well,
with the whole Marilyn Monroe shit going on.
well, for those that don't know, if you Google Blake Monroe, there was once upon a time a porn star that went by that name.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's crazy because at one point I remember they kind of like didn't want to associate with certain people because they were in that industry. If you Google, that name will come out. Oh, China. Gangrel, right? But here goes. They put that name. Like, dude, like, yeah, she got a hell of a hand. Blake Monroe, you know what I mean? But it's wild that they stuck with that name. But to me, all these new people that they bringing in, they getting top dollar. So they just going passing by. They're going straight to the, you know what I mean, to the main.
It's really interesting, in my opinion, because the whole thing with Fatal Influence, it's weird, but
Transitional, bro. And that transitional piece, like, I don't know.
it's kind of fitting for NXT though, because
Yeah.
their women's division is something else. Izzy did beat Zarya, which I wasn't expecting, and then there was one I was expecting. Jordan Grace victorious over Lola Vice, which that was actually a really good match. I
Bro, what's up with the Twitter world? They were going crazy because I guess they're not digging the theme song.
I guess not, but I mean,
Did it bother you? Or there's
not
something?
no, not really. It doesn't bother me, but it's the IWC. IWC is upset about everything. If somebody
Yeah,
changes their,
toxic.
somebody changes their hair color, somebody's upset about it. Like I'm not tripping about it. My thing is
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like if the talent agreed to it, what do you if they think it's okay, if the company thinks it's okay, I mean, what are we supposed to do? We can complain all we want, but it don't really matter. Lola Vice lost to Jordan Grace, but it was a pretty fun match to watch. I'm not. I feel like they've given up on Lola Vice because this is somebody who came over from MMA, and we thought she was going to be a big deal since like the NXT Underground was kind of built around her, and now she's like can't beat Roxanne Perez at Heat Wave, can't win the NXT North American title.
Well, actually, yeah. Not to cut you off, but I think Lola Vice, she's up next. Like you know what I mean. You gotta kind of, you know what I mean, by the loose. Because remember, she had high praises in the Worlds Collide. You know what I
Yeah,
mean. That
she
spot.
should
You
be
know
up.
what I mean.
She should
Yeah.
be up.
So, and that's another one. Like what they did with the Legado. Lola Vice could go over there and easily win the AAA fucking women's
Yeah,
championship.
she can.
You feel me? Because they have she has it. You know what I mean? She's bilingual, like you said. She got bro. You seen that kick when she hit Jordan Grace? I thought she was
Oh,
gonna get pin her. That shit was fucking lovely, money. Like that shit was on point, and it kind of gives it more. Damn, I can fucking find my words today. You know what I mean? Like legitimacy. You know what I mean? Her move because she's an MMA fighter. You
right.
know, but I think she's there because remember one thing, she's on TV. She's on TV constantly. You know what I mean? So I think but losing and losing because look at the bitch that I'm sorry, the the girl that won the women's championship. What's her name? The champion right now, the women's champion NXT. What's her name?
JC Jane.
Bro, look the stat, bro. She was losing and losing and losing.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, but my thing is,
And then next thing you know, she's a champion. So
she my thing is I'm so high on Lola Vice just because they have that Latina superstar that they can build around in NXT, and I feel like there's going to be a higher ceiling with her, and as soon as she gets to the main roster, it's going to be interesting. But she could go dominate in AAA. She fit very well in AAA. I will say she fit extremely well in AAA. But the main roster doesn't always have to be like the main goal. Like with the acquisition of AAA now,
like to me with Lola Vice, I don't think she got signed with the big bucks. Like I think Jordan Grace got big bucks. Bakir, she got big bucks. Julia got big bucks. That's why they moved them quick. You know, Roxanne. You know what I mean? Like I think it was Booker T that mentioned that with the talent that they had, they should have a 2-night evolution. Are you opposed to that?
no, of course not.
Right? Can
I
you
would.
imagine that? That'd be awesome.
That'd be dope. 2-night evolution. Yeah, give the women let them cook. Because clearly, like I said, the women's division is the best it's ever been. They have a lot of talent on so many different sides of the spectrum. And I said the NXT women's division is like the main focal point for NXT. That's the reason why a lot of people tune in. And having said all of that, what was the last thing? Okay, that was it on for NXT. We didn't cover much of Raw too much, but I'll highlight a couple of things from Raw because I don't want to drag this show out, because that's one thing I'm not going to do is drag this show out. We had some unfortunate incident happen on Raw, and we do have the what?
No, I'm I'm just waiting, man. It's so fortunate, man.
Liv Morgan unfortunately injured herself in her match with Kairi Sane, to open the match,
Shoulder.
their shoulder. And this is the problem, is that Liv has had shoulder that was the reason she was out the last time, was shoulder problems, and she had to have it operated on. So the fucked up part is that SummerSlam is 2 nights. It's going to be in her hometown, well, not her hometown, but in New Jersey. And she's going to miss it unless she shows up, you know what I'm saying, to help out with a sling on. I wouldn't leave Liv Morgan out of that. But if it's 2 nights, that I feel like they have some way to fit her in. Even have her come out and cut a promo.
No, and the thing about it, think about it. Evolution was surrounded on her, because the match that we was gonna see most likely was gonna be in Nikki Bella and her. I don't know if it would have been a one-on-one. It probably would have been like a group, maybe. Like a team type of deal. Because you gotta protect Nikki Bella. She haven't been in the ring for so long, so they probably have Team Nikki versus Team whatever, and then boom, SummerSlam. They could have cooked both of them. But it's unfortunate that happened, and it was even a crazy move. It was just breaking a fall, and that's what how crazy the wrestling world is, that the different move, fall, break. It's just fucked up, man.
I will say before we move on is that it was something so simple and something that looked like it was completely safe, but it really ended up being something terrible. And now, I mean, it just always reminds us just how dangerous the business is. Something that you think doesn't look painful to the naked eye, you get a close up and you see how painful and how physically demanding it is. And then before we obviously move on from that, we had, and I ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to say that I told you this was going to be the move, but I told you guys this was going to be the move. Gunther comes out and he cuts a promo about Jey Uso and tells Seth Rollins, if you're looking for me, here I am. And then all of a sudden we hear the music, loud pop, extremely loud pop. Goldberg shows up, and this is what we're getting at Saturday night's main event in Atlanta, which they teased at Bad Blood last year. But I don't. It
took all that time.
It took all that time. They probably had to wrap Goldberg's knees in bubble wrap and vibranium. You know what I'm saying? So go for it.
But man, I'm not gonna say this. The only way I could see ending in a good feel good moment, it will be for Goldberg to win, right? To beat him at home, everybody screaming. Then here comes Braun Breaker.
Yep.
Right? I'm like, oh shit. Boom. Seth Rollins catches in.
Yep. I said the
and
same.
That will be sweet symphony to my ears. You know what I mean?
You have a firm grasp on the obvious. That is the move that I was just gonna say. You took the words right out of my mouth. That
um,
is, yeah. Go for it.
yeah, that's the only way I will see it to make sense because a lot of people are upset, because yeah, it don't make no sense for somebody just to. Um, I think this is the last time. Like, he's 1-6, go 1-6 prior to this fucking match, but he comes back and get a fucking title match. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Fuck him, he beat the Fiend. Fuck him, he beat KO. You know what I mean? Ziggler, all these matches. So how the fuck he get a a title match? You know what I mean? But it's obviously what the agenda they trying to push. You know what I mean? Bill Gunther more bigger, or they trying to sell some fucking tickets. You know what I mean? And I guess Goldberg's name still holds weight.
Yeah, I mean, Goldberg is a Hall of Famer. Goldberg is a legend. Um, I mean, they're gonna build around him and take that title right away from him. That's a perfect send off for him. Like, yeah, here you go. We're gonna give it to you. We giveth and we taketh away.
Yeah.
So to have that happen, I mean, we both have the same exact idea. That's what I said. Oh, Seth's gonna cash in. Boom. And then we're off. Sammy's probably gonna win King of the Ring. And then maybe Sammy and Seth down the line, or possibly if Jey Uso wins King of the Ring, then Jey and Seth down the line, and they might put the title back on Jey.
But then again, but my bad. So doesn't Jay deserve a fucking rematch? He didn't get a rematch.
Right, but I guess he's entering in the King of the Ring the right way to get it back, which he was already. Even if Sammy wins, Jay could be like, "Hey, I never got my rematch. I never got my rematch for the belt." So he kind of has his own little cash in, his little rematch clause. And honestly, we look at that championship as the secondary championship. They don't really treat it like a big deal. But it was treated like a big deal when Jay and Gunther had it. So hopefully when they put the title on Sammy, which I think will probably be next year, then we'll see what happens. But other than that, like, that's my take on it. And there were some other things that we wanted to discuss. I'm drawing a blank here. This was interesting to me. I wanted to talk about this. My boy Xavier Woods was out here dressed like Silky Johnson.
Silky Johnson.
Hate from the haters ball. I ain't gonna lie. It was interesting how that happened. I think it was just Xavier just be trolling at this point. He just trolls everybody.
No, and that's the thing. He that small little time that they put on TV or whatever. He did so much, bro. I think he just celebrated 10 years of the up down, side to side, whatever the fuck it is. But you know what I mean? That's 10 years deep, and in the tag team, they still relevant. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait till they actually put the New Day, because there's also I don't know if you mentioned in a rumor, but they might put back the Usos together. You know what I mean? So, no nigga, I'm a pimp named Slickback.
That's
yeah.
I like it.
That's cool.
I like it. What we will have though on SmackDown tomorrow is R-Truth and John Cena, because R-Truth basically said he wants his get back. So expect there to be some hickory dickory trickery going on. I think we might get some interference, or
Minoru. He got the Minoru Suzuki cut, right?
Yeah, we was just the murder grandpa. We were just talking about that not too long ago. I think me and JB were talking about and me and JT. So I didn't catch AEW Dynamite. Did you? Because I didn't. Because we were
yesterday.
Yeah, we were live on the show, so I didn't catch Dynamite.
No,
so.
like we said, we talked like mystical match with MJF. The other ones were like, fucking 100 niggas versus one gorilla type of shit. It was, you know what I mean? It was 10 versus 10. The matches, you had the Mercedes Moné match, and
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was Collision or one of them, but I believe the American Dragon made an appearance also.
Okay. I didn't catch Collision, and it wasn't Dynamite. It was the Grand Slam. But I thought maybe that they did like a episode of Dynamite before.
It was Dynamite. It just they just call it name. Like Spring Break.
Oh,
okay. And the summer. They just put a little pizzazz.
I will say Belt Collector Monet, Ultimo Dragon, which we already talked about. That is what it is. I think we ran through everything.
Just pretty much. I guess Elijah might have got. We got reenacting that didn't last long. She's hurt now, but
that really didn't last long at all. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate, man, that people getting hurt or whatever. But I guess TNA, looking for a house. Like I had said this a long time ago, WWE will eventually buy TNA and own another part of the territory. If you think about it, TNA is based out of Canada still, or they're out in Canada. So boom, bitty, bye bye. So they got AAA, and then we got North America with TNA. Next thing, perhaps Noah, in Japan. But the king of the queen, the king of the ring and queen. I always was a fan when the whole tournament was done in one day. One show.
Yeah.
The main set. Shout out to Tio Savio. He was part of a lot of them. He almost made it to the finals in one year. Ended up losing against King Mabel. But they would have kept it like that. But hey, I just give it that prestige. You know what I mean? You're talking about the king of the ring. But yeah, man, it's crazy, bro.
Speaking of
DNA.
Yo, want to give a TNA is having their show this Friday and Saturday up in Pittsburgh. If you are able to go to the show, make sure you buy your tickets now. I ain't gonna say who I talked to, but like I said, they got some big stuff coming up and some big stuff that they're planning. I wasn't able to I gotta go back and rewatch the show just because we started right around the time where the show was going on. But they got some bangers going on. I don't know, but what I do want to talk about is the BRP, Black Wrestling Podcast. With the BRP.
Oh, that shit should be framed. You know what I mean? So they should sell some prints or whatever. Get a shirt, man. That shot right there. Proceed with caution, man. Naomi, man. God bless her, bro. She is running this shit right now, bro. She can't do no wrong. Twitter game is crazy. You know what I mean? She hot. She's sexy as fuck. And as a heel, best heel right now in the women's division. Talk to me, baby.
Without question, the BRP, Black Wrestling Podcast, the BRP 50, they always cover the black wrestlers. They give them the shine that they deserve. And, we love what they do. And they don't get a lot they don't get a lot of love for what they do, but we love what they do. And we're big fans of when they release this every year. But there's always some controversy. There's always people who feel differently, and screw them. You know, I don't care what you feel. These men take the time out of their lives to give us something that no one else has given us. And for someone to criticize that, it's just from a place of hate. And the BRP 50 is important. You know, think of like the Source magazine back in the day. Think of like all of that, like even the PWI, like that's important. But the BRP 50 is real big and very exponential for what Black wrestling means to us. And on top of that, around Juneteenth, come on now. It's academic at this point.
Yeah. No, and we need it. You know what I mean? We need it in the industry, in the sense to be highlight a lot of people that doesn't get the recognition. You know what I mean? And we're not gonna go into what reasons or whatever, but it's good to have that spotlight and that recognition. You know what I mean? And you got people from Ron Killings, making making it in the top 50. So it makes up for a conversation, because it's like, damn, he should have been in. You know what I mean? There's so many coming up in the grounds, you know what I mean? That it's good to see that. And I'm loving it, bro.
I'm loving all of it. And like I said, shout out to the Black Wrestling Podcast. We love you guys. We support you guys. Having said all of that, I guess we can just move on to the rumors and news. We don't really have much else to cover. So it's being reported that Mercedes Moné is dating AEW's The Beast Mortos. Now, this comes as a surprise because I thought at one point she was dating Swerve. At one point, I don't know why. I just thought her and Swerve were dating. But hey, it's her love life, so I don't really personally.
No, I believe the dude just fucking graduated or finished. Fucking Beast Morton is a lawyer.
Oh, that is right.
Yeah. So I mean, not saying for that, but the dude is well put. He probably looked like Fabio. You know what I mean? Mexican Fabio and shit. And the thing is crazy, right? I think he left CMLL in 2012, something like that. And he went to AAA. So yesterday was the first time that he was back at CMLL. So you do that, you leave CMLL and go to AAA, it's like you persona non grata. Like, nah, yo, you know we are set, Holmes. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't fuck with him, but things change, and he was able to come out. He wasn't part of the match, I believe. He was at it. I think he replaced Cesaro or something like that. Not Cesaro. What the fuck is his name now?
Claudio.
Yeah, Claudio. Well, that was his name prior. Anyway, yeah, he took over him, man. But good for her, bro. But it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? That they don't mess, but you don't know how it be, bro. Like the vibes and shit. So she got all them belts. Now she got a big husky meaty guy. Hey, she's winning.
I will say that there are some wrestling pairs that have happened over the years that nobody expected to actually work, and one of them, R.I.P. Bray Wyatt and JoJo. That was another one where I was like, yo, how did he pull her? I ain't hating. But I was like, how the hell did he pull that off?
I always wanted a Nubian goddess, bro. I always wanted a Nubian goddess. My man pulled one up like, wow.
I mean, it came at the cost. He paid the heavy toll, but it was worth it. And I think that Bray is a big family man, and even though things didn't work out with him and his ex-wife, like they were still on good terms while he was with JoJo. He was still a W dad, so R.I.P. to him. What other rumors and news you got for me or
Yeah.
us?
Well, we talked about that bare knuckle. You know what I mean? Vince
Oh yeah.
McMahon want to get a piece of that, but they were like, it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? Other people, another story, they going as far as Vince McMahon wanted to buy TNA. You know, but like I said, it's just rumors, innuendo. You know what I mean? So
Dude.
who knows, man? But the money, he's still respected among wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like they they stick by him. You know, so he'll do have respect. Oh, another rumor in news, which it was fucked up. I saw a lot of people were happy. It was fucked up. They were laughing. The news about Hulk Hogan. You know, almost supposed to kick the can. And it turned out to be that the person that was Bob, not Bob, the SpongeBob or whatever the fuck. What was it? The the one that used to be his friend, and then he fell off.
Oh, I know you're talking about. I cannot for the life of me remember the name because I'm like kind of buzzed right now. Fucking
Yeah, Bubba the SpongeBob. Oh,
Bubba the
the
Love
love,
Bubba the Love
love
Sponge.
sponge. Yeah, fuck that nigga. Anyway, yeah, him. I, he was the one that started because he's a BJ, you know, a DJ on the radio. So he started saying that Hulk Hogan, you know, last and say his last goodbyes and shit. Bro, Twitter went crazy. Bro,
Yeah,
it was man, it was like, damn, bro, like stop. You know, it's like you poking him with the stick to see if he's still alive. Like it was like, whoa, that's fucking crazy. And I started looking to see if it was trending. It wasn't trending, you know, but yeah, karma is crazy, but hey, I guess it was a false alarm.
I mean, I'm not gonna wish death on Hulk Hogan or nothing like that. Other people will. I personally am not gonna say anything. Um, but the day that he does pass away, if I'm alive to see it, which I probably will be, I'm just not gonna be on Twitter that day. I'm not gonna be on social media. Uh, Wait, so aside from the rumors and news, there was an additional. What's going on in the hip hop world between Pusha T and Travis Scott?
Oh man, would you like to see that in the WWE? Me personally, bro, clips, Pusha T, you know what I mean? It's trumpets. Yellow diamonds look like pee pee. You know what I mean? I fuck with Pusha T, bro. I fuck with Pusha T, but man, Travis Scott, I could care less. But hey, you know the business when you know you got music to put out or whatever. I guess it's no holds bar. You know what I mean? And then let's say Travis Scott. You know we will know how Pusha T was the one that brought to the surface that Drake had a son. Let's not forget about that, right?
Right.
And you got Drake making songs with Travis Scott. You know what I mean? So Pusha T is like, man, fuck this guy. Who the fuck is this guy? So that is entertainment. Wrestling is everywhere, bro.
Wrestling is so entertaining. There's so much going on with wrestling. I want to point out that there's so many things that happen over time that it's almost hilarious when you go back and look at it like, damn, that did happen not too long ago. Damn, that did go down. Or damn, like hip hop beef has always been wrestling related. Like, it's always been that way. And it's never going to change. Hold on, I want to give a big shout out to Final Boss Lady. Always one of the more premier talents we have on the CCN DWE Townhouse Media Partnership. They were just on the Talk It Up podcast not too long ago. I'll say last night. Managed to catch a little bit of it before I had to go to sleep. They're doing great work over there. So make sure you follow them. It's on the Culture Clash Network YouTube page. There is something I do want to point out, Cheech, because this kind of caught my attention real quick. Because I'm sorry, this shit is funny as hell to me. Like it's way too funny. I got to show you this. So there's merch going out for for the El Grande Americano mask, right? Now,
Oh, this guy. But it's not him, bro.
even though they got Chad Gable replica right there, it's like,
Man, it's crazy, bro. Bro, I don't know if you saw about Goldberg. They got shirts, and the one says all gold.
yeah, all go. Yeah, they are spoiling that shit right then and there.
Like you said, bro, today we should have named this shit conspiracy because we got the crowns over the fucking winners. We got
Yeah.
Shaq Gable supposedly being the Americano.
I'm like, what? Because I'm looking at this, I'm like, wait a minute. Jay Cargill won this match. There was a crown over her head. Alexa Bliss won this match. There was a crown over her head. Cody Rhodes won this match. The crown. They're giving away the winners in the SmackDown flyers. They didn't do that for Raw. They didn't do that for Raw because it would have been too obvious. But like, we're catching this as it happens, and we are. I will say that in record time, we are 1 hour in, and we have we have covered everything, and we're down to rumors and news at the last minute, which, like I said, is we work together. Is we throwing
So
alley oops and lobs. So, Boss Lady, why did you respond on two different accounts? Like, what's going on? She must have switched to she switched to her YouTube one. Okay, cool.
oh no, well, she could go anywhere, bro. She wanna go anywhere. Appreciate it.
Yeah, she can go whichever way she wants.
It's mucho love, mucho love, and love,
Yeah,
and
she
love.
go wherever she the boss lady. She go wherever she want to go.
We'll be having a game 6 in the NBA Finals, my guy.
Oh, so it
I
looks
mean,
like
there's still 8 minutes. It's still 8 minutes remaining, but
you mean game
the
7?
patience.
Is it
No,
game 7?
no, it'll be game 6. If the Pacers win, there'll be game 7.
That's right.
No, I'm bugging.
No, it's game 6 right now. It's game 6 right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just bad at math. Yeah, but yeah, the Pacers hold on. We're gonna have a game 7, brother. And this has been the lowest rating in NBA Finals since 1988, I believe.
What up, Cap?
It's been bad, but that's the NBA for you.
There's no superstars. Like, there's no superstars in the finals. There's like,
Oh, and the players, bro. Everybody want to shoot threes. They don't want to drive to the hole. That type of basketball, you know what I mean? And it's fucking boring, bro.
game's
You
gone.
know?
Game's gone.
Yeah.
The game
Nah,
is
bro.
gone, man.
Niggas soft. You see Halliburton, then he got hurt. You know what I mean? Like, dude was doing his thing, entertaining. But yeah, man, that's what's going on in the world.
It is what it is. Was that everything? Did we get everything out the way in 1 hour?
I will say yes, cause I don't know, I got a blur in my head, like Jesus Christ. But brother, it is what it is. Shout out to JT. He should be back.
Next week.
I was gonna say next month, but yeah, next week.
Is it
But
is it next month?
no, not yet. Almost.
I heard Oldberg speared the waiter at the Last Supper for getting his order wrong. Well, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if he got up to do that. I don't think Goldberg got the knees.
Bro,
to,
well, he is a Jew.
I'm not touching. I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm not. Nope. I'm not saying nothing. I am leaving that one right there. That one, because we are probably Speaking of that, with Iran and Israel, the U.S. needs to stay out of it. I don't want no smoke. I just, like I said, want to enjoy the rest of my life without worrying about getting bombed. Like, the worst thing that has happened to me this week was a tornado hit my house
No,
yesterday.
no, and it's crazy now because now you got social media, so now you got the memes. I'm not gonna pay my rent. I'm gonna see what Iran is gonna do. What the fuck? It's wild. Niggas don't give a fuck, man.
I mean, we all gonna die eventually, so it's like, all right, well, if this is the way it ends, like, make it quick.
Yeah, I'm not paying my mortgage. I'm about to get suited up.
I need to pick a casket, pick a
Now
urn.
I don't know. It's fucking crazy. Like, oh, I'm about this merch. I'm gonna buy this belt.
I think we've covered everything. If you want to close it out, that's up to you. Like I said, you running the show, so you close it out however you want to close it out. I'm just
Um,
along for the ride.
nah, bro. Like I said, salute to everybody that celebrated today, June 10th. This also mental health month, and I think it's Black Music Month also. I believe. I could be wrong, but shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. Thank you for tuning in. This is Marks with Mike, said Cheech in La Casa. You know where to find us. Dallas Cash, Humble Roses, JT. We'll be back next week. Shout out to Just. He's in the bodega. You know what I mean? Got busy. But, shout out to everybody. Mad love. And this is it. See you next week. Sayonara, bitches.
See y'all later.